Black people, Miami is not really for you.
If you're a black person and you're considering visiting or living in Miami and you don't really understand how this city works, let me break it down for you. I've lived in Miami pretty much my entire life. This is just the lay of the land. Number one, if you're going out, you're going to find black people in pockets, in certain clubs, certain restaurants, certain spaces. And depending on the community you're in, you'll find them there. For example, if you go to a Victory Lounge, you're looking for, black people, you want to eat, you want to have a lounge experience. If you go to Jamaican parties, you're going to find Jamaican people. It's not a city where black people are everywhere. If you're trying to go out and you're trying to find other people, you're going to have to look up Miami black blank if that's the type of music you're going to go to.
I'm not exactly sure of the Miami party promoter drama that's going on TikTok right now, but I want to give my 2 cents in. As someone that grew up in Florida and as a dark-skinned queen, for years, I've been saying that Miami is by far the worst city for black women in America. Specifically, if you're darker than a paper bag.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. So guys, in today's video, I want us to watch this video from our black Americans. They are coming out and sharing their experience and the struggle they are facing in Miami. They are coming out and telling us how Miami it has become racist towards black people. So kindly guys, watch this video till the end, then I'll be back with more comment.
You would think because you're in Florida and it's diverse and there's a lot of culture that living in an environment like that would be positive for black women. But I have not had more discriminatory experiences in nightlife than I have in Florida. And I live in Texas now. And that's literally why I live in Texas now. I had to move across the country just to get treated fairly in nice places. I have literally been kicked out of a section for being dark-skinned. The men treat you differently, the women treat you differently. Everyone thinks that they're better than you because they're lighter than you. And you're gonna be like, oh no, that's just your insecurities. No, babes. I came to Dallas, Houston, and was treated like the bad bitch 1,000 out of 10 that I am. I mean, getting invited into sections, getting free drinks, party promoters reaching out to me to come out. But in Florida, you would think I was begging on my hands and knees to get let into this club. So I'm glad that Florida specifically is being ousted as the racist state that it is. I mean, racism and colorism is everywhere, but they don't care about it in Florida. They literally promote it. You can go to a black-owned place of business and no woman there will not be darker than a paper bag. And they will treat you like scum as a dark-skinned person, as a dark-skinned woman, and their establishment as if you're not giving them your green money. So that's my...
Y'all hear about how those Hispanics treated black people at Ryder's Logistics? It was horrible. They made they created 2 different production lines. One for Hispanics, where the Hispanics was doing all the easy work, and then another production line for the black people, where they did all the hard labor. And then on top of that, they make the black people work 16-hour shifts. They wouldn't give them breaks. Matter of fact, they were really derogatory, telling them, oh, you're big and black. You don't deserve a break. You could work through it. And then this black woman, she told her testimony how they used to call her ancient mama and the N-word in Spanish. And she reported it to her supervisors, but her supervisors were also Hispanic. And you know what they told that black lady? Oh, that's their culture. Oh, it's your culture to be racist, anti-black. They treated all the black people there horribly, right? Even the black man, they called them silverback gorillas and was waving bananas at them. And nobody did anything about this. Because, mind you, the supervisors are also Hispanic. It's our culture. The white man had to step in and hit him with that lawsuit. Look it up. Riders Logistics lawsuit, Southern California.
The black workers also were doing the heaviest or the hard manual labor, heavy lifting, and the non-black workers were doing the lights, easy work, light work. We were working these long hours and sweating, and the supervisors wouldn't let the black workers get water or take bathroom breaks. We had to wait. They said, "You're big and
Black people, Miami is not really for you. So let me tell you something. If you are a black person and you were thinking about moving to Miami or living in Miami or spending any amount of real time here, you need to have a very strong sense of yourself. You need to know exactly who you are. You need to know exactly what the coins are. You need to be prepared to be faced with some of the most outrageous casual racism that you will ever see. It is not the same as it is in DC, LA, New York, etc., where you're dealing with a population that's used to seeing a lot of black people, from upscale black people to ratchets to middle class. They're used to seeing it all. So in Miami, if you're going to, like, let's say a hot spot, if you're going to like a Milo or a Poppy steak or whatever, you will get clocks from head to toe. They're looking at your watch, they're looking at your shoes, they're looking at your belt, because they cannot comprehend how you would be here. There's no comprehension in Miami in terms of the local scene of black people with real coins, with real money, because they don't see it here. So if you're a black person and you come here and you don't know exactly who you are, then you're going to start seeing things every single day that are going to cause you to start questioning yourself, questioning who you are in the world, questioning your level of attractiveness, all of that stuff. Now, that being said, I think that Miami can be a wonderful place for a lot of people, no matter what your color is. But I really do think that it is a place that is very specific, that is very much not into black people. They will let you know in ways large and small when you are here. So if you're a black person and you're thinking about coming to Miami, just be very clear about the things that you're going to see and the things that you're going to experience. And you cannot let that bother you. You have to be able to shrug it off, because you will see things that you do not see in these other cities.
I just wanted to address this comment that was left on under this post. In no way I am like negating what this person commented, because historically Miami has been racist. Like, let's talk about how on South Beach, black entertainers couldn't even stay in the hotels, like Fontainebleau. Black people could not stay in those hotels. They would have to cross over the bridge and stay in like Overtown or whatever. So yeah, Miami has historically been racist. Yes. I can only speak from my experience of living in Miami. I've been in South Florida 7 years, but I lived in Miami for 4 of those 7 years. And I personally have not experienced any racism. Now, it's not to say that it's not there, but Miami is also truly neighborhood-wise, it's divided. You know, depending on what neighborhood you live, you will only see certain type of people, and that's just how it is here. I used to live downtown Miami, and in my experience, and I used to live and work in downtown Miami, so I would walk to work and walk home from work. And the only black people that I would see besides myself would be the doormen that would greet me when I left my building. People think Miami is so diverse. It is. It's diverse, but like I said, it's very segregated. So when I first came to Miami in 2009, I stayed in South Beach because I didn't know any better. And, you know, that's where everyone goes. And you saw a lot of black people there. You saw a lot of black people on South Beach. But you have to realize that majority of those people on South Beach are tourists and they don't live in Miami. So when I lived in downtown Miami and I was like, yo, where the black people at? Like, I'm asking, like, where black people at? They're not there. They're not there in like downtown. They're not there in like the Brickell area, Coral Gables. Like, it's very few of us. Now, I don't live in that area anymore. The area that I decided to reside in Miami is more of a mixed community, and I'm not the only black person. And even when I go out to dine or establishments, I try to support just black owned businesses because the service is usually 100 times better. They understand me and they give me great service. So Miami can be hella racist. So I encourage everyone to support Black-owned businesses. When you visit Miami, when you come here and you live here or you're visiting, look up Black establishments to support and spend your dollars there.
Miami is predominantly Hispanic, and they run things. That's just the lay of the land, just what it is. Most of the time, if you just go out to a club on a random day, you're going to find Hispanic people. You're going to listen to Hispanic music. You're going to be in areas, especially affluent areas. It's going to be predominantly Hispanic. Now, there are a lot of tourists that come in and out of the city, but regardless, that's just what it is. With that being said, you can find all different types of food. You may have to drive a little bit, depending on, if you're looking for Haitian food or Jamaican food or Nigerian food, you can find it, but you're gonna have to look for it. It's not in every corner. Now, if you want Cuban food or Hispanic food or pollo tropical or something, that's everywhere. You can find that everywhere. I always say Miami is not a melting pot, it's a tossed salad. So there's a lot of different cultures here. They're not mixing, but you can find everywhere. Now, is Miami racist? It can be, depending on where you are, what you're doing. I've had instances where I'll go eat with a group of my friends and the waiter or waitress is treating us strange at an establishment I've been to prior. So a lot of times it depends on who you're dealing with, but racism is everywhere. And just because it's not predominantly white people here does not mean that other groups of people do not have discriminatory ideologies towards us. I've been in instances where, I'm with a promoter and we're going to a club and all of a sudden they're turning us away because there's too many Black people in our crew. Like, there are these instances, they're not common, but they do exist, which is why a lot of Black people, when they go out, they just go out to areas where they know people are gonna be like them. They don't want to deal with it. They don't have to deal with it. It's just what it is. All in all, I think Miami has, if you're looking for weather preferences, if you like the beach, if you like to shop, if you like to turn up, this is the city for you. If you're looking for something a little bit more artistic, just come for Art Basel and leave. This is not the place to find a jazz spot or a poetry lounge or people who are in that scene. This is not a fashion capital, it's a swimwear capital. This is a place where you're gonna see BBLs left, right, and center. This is a place where, people are beautiful, but they may be entitled, but they may lack substance. They may be not people that will go the long way with you. There are exceptions to the rule, like myself, who has grown up in Miami, so I wouldn't say I'm a product of Miami, but in general, finding people with depth here is going to be difficult.
So I'm from New York and I just got back from Miami like a week ago, and I was just sitting back and reflecting on the cultural differences between New York and Miami. And one of the things that I was just thinking about, which nobody really talks about, is this weird underlying obsession with girls being like exotic and foreign. And I really hate using those terms because they just they ick me out. Like, I feel like it dehumanizes people so much when you say shit like, oh my god, you're exotic. I'm not a fucking bird, but for the sake of the video, I'm using those terms because that is word for word what I was hearing other people saying there. I noticed that there was this very strange obsession with being like mixed with something, which I'm really not used to in New York, because I feel like in New York it's like you are what you are and you're very proud of that. Like, if you're black, you're black and you say that and you're proud of that. Like, if you're Latino, you say that you're proud of that. If you're Asian, you're Asian. It's like everything, because it's very diverse, people are very accepting, yada yada yada. In Miami, it was different though. It was like everyone was asking you constantly in your business, like, what are you mixed with? Well, what are you? Are you Latina? Are you, like, I thought it was very bizarre to a degree I had never experienced before. Mind you, I'm Haitian American. I never really get any issues when I tell people I'm Haitian American, other than maybe a couple of ignorant people here and there who make ignorant comments. But like, for the most part, I just say that. It's like, okay, conversation is over, move on. But it's like, when I was saying this to people in Miami, it was like, what? Literally, I got approached at the beach. I was at Miami Beach, and someone approached me and was like, oh, well, what are you mixed with? First of all, where's hello, hi, how are you? No, but they jumped to, what are you mixed with? I was very fucking confused, and I was honestly annoyed because I hate questions like that. I genuinely hate them. And I was like, I'm Haitian, I'm black. Because that's what I tell people all the time. And that's never in New York. That's never an issue. People, again, it's like, end of conversation, move on. He was like, no, that can't be possible. There has to be more. You have to be mixed with other things. And he went on and proceeded to tell me how in Colombia, there's women who look exactly like me, but they're not black, and they would never identify with being black. I'm like, that sounds like a personal issue, and I don't really know what to tell you.
I've been seeing quite a few videos circulating about racism in Miami, and I feel like everybody is talking about, racism going to certain restaurants, to certain clubs, that sort of thing, like entertainment wise, but nobody talks about the racism in Miami as far as working in Miami. Okay, I told this story like 3 years ago on TikTok when it happened, but I didn't have the platform that I had now. But let me tell y'all about my experience working in Miami and the racism that I experienced. I only lasted 2 days at this job. 2 days. So it's 2021. I got a job at the cosmetic company store, which is a store owned by Estee Lauder. They basically sell all Estee Lauder brands. So like Bobbi Brown, Smashbox, MAC, Too Faced, Clinique, Tom Ford. Basically any stuff that didn't sell like in the department stores at their actual stands or limited edition stuff, they would sell it at the cosmetic company store as a discount. At a discount. So they're opening a new store in Dolphin Mall. And if you know anything about South Florida, Miami, Dolphin Mall is an area that is pretty much Hispanic territory. Almost everybody in that area is going to be Hispanic. So I get this job. The first day, we're literally just setting up the store, okay? So we really didn't interact. We're just putting everything on the shelves. Now, my second day, because I was in school at the time, so I could only work certain hours, so I didn't get the whole full thing. So my second day is actually the grand opening of the store, and I'm working as a closer. So I get there and I'm kind of shadowing the manager because I really don't know what to do because I couldn't come in the daytime to train. So they told me, oh, the store is 30% off today. So the manager, she's a Cuban lady. She is bringing somebody out and she does not apply the discount. Mind you, this person is black. So I'm like, hey, the discount is 30% off. You have to apply it. And she kind of like shooed me off or whatever. She just ignored me. And so after the people left, I'm like, oh, is the discount only if they spend a certain amount? Because this lady literally only bought one thing. And she goes, oh, no, I just forgot to apply the discount. Mind you, I told the lady. And I was like, noted. Second thing, at the store, to prevent resellers, you are not allowed to spend more than $1,000. They were letting people come in, resellers, and just do multiple transactions. All of these people are Hispanic. This Asian lady comes in basically trying to do the same thing. They tell her, no, it's only one transaction per person. You can't just switch your card or do different transactions. So the lady comes back with her daughter. The daughter comes in and tries to make the purchase, and they're like, oh, she doesn't look like she's old enough. You have to be at least 16 to make a purchase here. Be so serious. That is not the rule. Like, y'all are making up stuff. So whatever the case, after some back and forth, they ended up bringing up the lady. And then the Hispanic lady, as soon as she leaves, she looks at me, a different one from the first lady, and she goes, did you see that Chinese lady come in here and try to buy everything up? And I'm just like, yeah, just like everybody else did. The hell? Now the final straw was when they tried to accuse me of stealing. That's when I knew, okay, this is some racism. Now, if you're from Miami, you probably know this is how the Hispanics there are, but I'm not from Miami. I'm from Jacksonville, so Jacksonville is country, child. But anyways, so a black couple comes in. Nobody goes over to help them. I'm preoccupied. Nobody goes over to help them. Eventually, I get done, and I go over to help this couple. So I'm helping the wife. I help her pick out foundation, concealer, blush. I get her the whole shebang, right? They check out, and then her husband comes back, and he was like, thank you so much. He did it in front of everybody because he peeped the same thing I peeped, and he gave me a tip, y'all. So he gave me a tip. At the end of the day, we're counting down the drawer. Well, the other lady's counting down the drawer, and she looks at me, and she says, the drawer is short. How much did that man give you earlier? Didn't that man give you some cash that you put in your pocket? No, you didn't, lady. Like, no, you freaking didn't. So I said, let me count the drawer. I count the drawer. Not only is it not short, it's actually over. It's over. And she was like, oh, I must have just miscounted. No, ma'am, you didn't miscount. You're racist. You're freaking racist. You was going to probably pocket the extra money, right? So I ended up calling HR the next day, and I was like, listen, I can't work for no company like that. I cannot work in this type of environment. I went to the store the next day during my shift. I went, put my key in an envelope, and I left a note that said, this ain't gonna work. Okay, they was calling me, texting me, all this extra stuff. I called HR or whatever, and the HR people, I don't know what they did because I quit, but they were like, that's unacceptable. Like, it got escalated to somebody else, and that person called me, and they're like, we're going to try to find another store for you to work at under Estee Lauder, blah, blah, blah. They ain't never do that. But Miami is, if you're not in the right parts, I've learned the areas that I need to stay in, because if you get too far in Latinos for Trump, very much racist.
For those of you that are saying Miami is not racist, let me break down what I've been through so you can understand that Miami's not overtly racist. It's a little bit more hidden and harder to see. So, I was once hired to be an atmosphere model for Mr. Jones. I was paid $1,000 to go to this club, sit down, be at this event, look cute, and leave. Now, in the room, I was one of 3 black women in a space that had maybe 500 people. So we were there to meet the quota, the right ratio of black women that was okay for that night. Now, I was getting paid. I was not really part of the event. I was just there. About 2 weeks later, I met with a promoter, and he's like, hey, let's hang out, and then afterwards we're gonna go out to the club, blah, blah, blah. I was outside at the time. I said, all right, cool. So I'm with myself and another one of my girls. We pull up to Mr. Jones, and I see him talking back and forth with the promoter. I'm really cool with him. And he comes back and he's like, yeah, he says there's too many black girls in our crew. So outside of myself, there was about 5 other black women I didn't know, but they were attractive black women, different sizes, different complexions, etc. We were denied entry. Okay, so this is the part of Miami where I say I'm the same person that was paid to be in the establishment to meet a requirement of people that was turned away weeks later because there was too many black people in my crew. Now, Mr. Jones is one of those spaces where if you go on their page at the time, this is about a year ago or 2, you saw white and Hispanic women and you saw black men that as long as they were famous, that was fine. That is what happens in a lot of clubs in Miami, especially South Beach, especially affluent clubs, especially clubs that are not necessarily catering to a black crowd. They may have a black night. You know what night to go to live. You know what night to go to certain clubs to see your people, to hear your music. Now, some people are like, it's not a big deal. And some people say that's a big deal because this is 2025. But hey, is that considered racist to you or not? Or do you just not care about the well-being of black women, which, hey, join the line.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have listened to our black Americans, to our black people who they live in Miami, how the challenges and the struggle they are facing in Miami. Majority of them, they are coming out and tell us how Miami it has become racist towards the black people since the days of the colonization up to now. Miami, it is still racist towards black people. And for me, I've always tell you that I really love to see our black Americans and our black people coming out and telling us exactly what is happening in the United States or in any other country, because we black people, we have been well, they have been showing us the racism. We have been going through a lot of challenges, a lot of struggle in the Western countries, but sometimes this media cannot show you exactly what it is happening. when seeing our Black Americans coming out and revealing to us how they are the challenges and the struggle they are going through. It is to encourage and it is to inform us Black people, if we want to go in Miami, we need to prepare. We need to prepare mentally and physically, because not everywhere Black people they are being respected. Not everywhere Black people they are being welcome. So this is tell you that when you are going to Miami, you need to prepare mentally and physically, so that you can know the so that you can be aware with the things that you are going to encounter while you are going to Miami. So guys, I want to add my commentary and tell also those Black people who they really want to go to Miami, who they really want to live in Miami, because majority of the Black people, we all know that we really have American dream. We really want to go in this Western country, but going in this Western country nowadays, it has become very hard for the Black people, because right now the Black people that are being deported, the illegal immigrant Blacks, they are being deported back to their country. There's a lot of things which it is going on right now in the United States. So also seeing our Black people coming out and reveal to us, also it tells us that a lot it is happening, but the media they cannot tell you. So I just want to tell my Black community that the Black people, the Black Americans, we need to speak one language, because why is it only Black people they are facing this racism and these challenges and the struggle in United States? It is because also we Black people, we are not united. Yeah, we are not united. You have seen Miami, the majority of the people who live in Miami, they are Hispanians, and you can see these people that are speaking one language. When you see Chinese in the United States, these people they always speak one language. These people they have united. But when it comes to the Black people, the Black Americans, they are not speaking one language. The Black people, we are not united. And because of that, we are facing all these challenges that we are seeing our Black Americans, they are coming out and telling us about Miami. Because when we Black people will become together, when we are uniting, we'll become more powerful, and these other races, they will start respecting us. Why is it only Black people they are going through all this oppression, racism, less opportunity in United States? It is because we are not united. We need to speak with one language, so that these people, other races, can start to respect us. Because if they are not going to respect Black Americans, even us people, who we are in the Caribbean, who we are in Africa, when we'll be going to this Western country, they will not respect us, because they know our weakness, it is unity. Because they know Black people, they don't love to support each other. Black people, they don't want to unite. And because of that, they are taking advantage of us Black people. That's why majority of our Black people, they are going through racism, through oppression. There's a lot of things going on to the Black people in the Western country. Even majority of them, they are fearing to come out and tell us exactly the challenges and the struggle they are going through. And this is because they feel like, even if I will come out and tell my fellow Black people, they will not help me, they will not come and support me. So instead of he or she speaking, he or she has decided to keep quiet and to let it go. But right now, I've seen we Black people, we are uniting, we are coming together, we are also sharing our experience. If you are going through hardship in this Western country, we need to come out and talk about, so that we can also inform our Black community that this side of America, it is not good for the Black people. So we need also to know exactly which side of America it is good for the Black people, because we Black people, we need to revolutionary ourselves. We need to come out so that these people can respect us. These people, they always show us racism towards their country. But when these people that are coming to our country, they have not even had any cases of us Black people showing them racism. In fact, we Black people, we respect them than even our other Black people. Yeah, when a white person, he or she has come to our African or any Black country, we usually respect that white person than Black Americans who is coming in any of the black country, whether in Africa, whether in the Caribbean. We have no much respect to that black American than the white person, but that needs to change. We need also to start respecting our black Americans. We need to restart to respect us, our fellow. Yeah, we need to embrace ourselves so that also these people can respect us, because these people, they know that we black people, we respect them so much. When we black people are going to their country and doing all this racism and all this oppression and all these challenges that our black people they are going through in the Western country, they know that the black people, they will not talk about it. And also they have hide this thing that their media cannot show us black people exactly what it is going to our fellow brothers and sisters who they are in the Western country. So for me, I can tell you that black people, we need to unite, we need to come together, we need to unite so that we can these people can respect us. All this racism that we are going through in the Miami, in any other part of the United States needs to end, and that one will end when we black people, we have united. So these are some of the challenges that our fellow black people they are going through. And also guys, I need you to share this video so that it can reach to a lot of people. They can know exactly what it is happening in Miami. For a very long time, majority of our black people, they have been facing all this racism in Miami, but they haven't talked about. But in this 20th century, right now, we are started to speak out, and that's why I really want you, my fellow people who are watching me, to like this video, because when you like this video, according to the YouTube algorithm, it will spread this video to a lot of people. And also majority of us black people will know exactly what to do when we are going in Miami. So kindly guys, thank you so much. Let's talk more on the comment section, and I'll be back with more comments soon.